Hi, my name is Nish McLean. I am from Jamaica with Equality for All Foundation Jamaica Limited and Transwave Jamaica.
Hello, my name is Kim Venfocho and I'm from South Africa and I work for FEM Projects, comprehensive sexual education business in South Africa.
And I'm Zina, I'm from Nigeria and I'm with Resista Camp. So, people, it's the end of CSW.
Oh my word.
It's Friday.
Yep.
We've come to the end.
How are you feeling?
I'm feeling sad, overwhelmed, informed, and prepared. So many conflicting things at the same time. I'm not really sure where to place my energy or what to do with myself. How are you feeling?
My energy levels were low a few hours ago, but I'm feeling much better now. I have a to-do list now, so I feel much better.
Yeah, I feel motivated. I feel like it's 2.5 weeks of CSW and there's a lot of things that we have gotten out of it and we need to probably action and we probably have already started to.
Yeah.
So it's kind of transitioning from being here at CSW and being ready to go home to get back to work.
Yeah, I think that's the whole challenge. It's like coming here, working on an international scale, being around people who have a lot of influence, and then trying to emulate that back home and trying to do it effectively as well. I think that's a challenge, but also something that makes me feel motivated at the same time.
Well, that kind of runs into probably thinking about what you learned the most. So what do you think you're taking back home from this experience?
I'll go first.
Yeah.
So I think for me, what I learned, even though I sort of expected it, was the organization around the opposition. I knew that they're doing work, but I had no idea how bad it was, that they have puppet people, especially from the continent, who are there to spill out things that are not true with flawed statistics and evidence, and these people stand on an international scale and say these things. I was super surprised at the people from Kenya and Nigeria, especially those on the Holy Seas panel, talking about this African woman who has primal needs to have babies and how we pride just being mothers and how they've never seen African women ask for comprehensive sexual education or abortion. All this is untrue, but the gall of that, I had never been so surprised that it could be done so openly.
Yeah.
And I think for me that's what I'm taking back, that we need to do a better job, especially as somebody who's working on LGBTI issues and who is really passionate about documenting. These people are wiping us out. They are trying to erase our existence, and I think we need to do more from the grassroots to be we're here and we will not be written out of history or in the present, and we need to make our voices loud.
That's so true. They're so effective at spreading propaganda that it actually freaked me out for a bit, because while we were sitting the event you were speaking about, they are so convincing. I can imagine that people who were in that room, many of them might have been convinced of some of the things that they're saying because they're not from Africa, and these people were speaking all African women are the same type of people and they want the same things, culturally, emotionally, everything else. It was warped.
Yeah, I think that event too stood out for me as well, and partly too because it was inside the UN.
Yes.
Headquarters. Right? That was
and
a
being
moment of
sponsored by
the Holy See. So that was wow, I was not expecting that. And also for me, I was surprised at how many activists from women and girls in rural areas who did not get to come to CSW because of visa issues. That I was not expecting that. I also was not expecting. I just didn't realize that CSW was such a toxic space in certain ways. I really thought when I think about women, I guess I was a bit naive coming into the space, so I definitely realized how much more work is needed to be done to protect what we hold dear as LGBTI activists, and so we have a large role to play, because clearly if we remain silent, if we don't play our part, the opposition is working. That is for sure.
Yeah, the devil doesn't sleep. Also, the whole toxicity thing you were speaking about, it's the bureaucracy, it's the red tape, and how they try to keep people out of rooms, and there's no way of properly negotiating or being in the room. It's just it's a lot of red tape, and how do you even navigate that? And the fact that the Women's Rights Caucus and all the other caucuses that we're part of was able to do that, it does take a lot of work.
But what stood out for me was just the number of people that I want to collaborate with. Like I have studied like 20 emails that I need to write or follow up with people that I genuinely feel excited about, and I feel like we could get places and attempt to change the world together with them. So for me, that's like a big plus. Like red tapes exists there, but there are like green lights for me with so many people on things that I want to do.
Yeah, I'm gonna jump on that as well, because despite the challenges, I think there's always hope. And so I really appreciate the platforms that we've been able to use to speak at different events, to engage different UN agencies, UN Women, and just how those, whether it's on a public platform speaking event or in one-on-one conversations, I think those connections, those networks go a long way for us to continue collaborating and making an impact. So there are definite wins for our participation, especially as UN fellows. So that's a huge plus.
The strange thing for me was that I had to travel across the world to meet certain activists from South Africa that I made the most amazing connections with. People that I've seen online, under people you may know. I know kind of your work, but we've never tried to align or to form this coalition. And then I get to New York and there's just this massive energy, and we see that we can align, we can work together. So I think that's another thing that I want to take back, is that use your networking skills in a proper manner. Like, be proactive about certain things. Like, don't wait for people to approach you or whatever. Like, go and seek out these alliances so that you can effectively organize.
Yeah. I think that for sure we have the benefit of being in the space, or having been a part of CSW, so that we can now go back to our own home countries to share what we learned and how we want to move forward with our advocacy. So that's critical, and that's really something that, especially right after CSW, when we're feeling very energized and like yes,
Well, before the long flight takes like all the energy out.
Yeah, exactly. Like start, hey, I'm coming home. It's just I sending some emails and saying some thank yous. So that's like a big part of the experience as well.
Last night, I told you I was in this strange space. So went back to the hotel, couldn't sleep, took out my laptop and started this folder on my Google Drive, and just invited all of the organizations that I know and the friends that I know who are also activists. And I started writing this long document about everything that I've learned, mostly for me, but also so that I can share it with my networks, because I don't know what they know, and I want to inform them as well, because maybe we can use this information, not maybe, we will be using this information to effectively organize. I keep on saying that, but that's because it's just
here's an idea,
in my head.
Right? I'm already documenting a lot of the things that we did and a lot of the things that we learned, and like the little back channel things that nobody tells you about. And I'm gonna house it on Holla Africa, and you're welcome to collaborate.
I know,
that's great, right? Now I'm putting them on the spot, but yes, we are going to have like a CSW diary that's gonna live on Holla Africa.
Okay.
And,
so
we have like a daily
offline, we need to connect so that we can talk about this.
Yeah,
that's amazing.
Now I'm tying you into it now. You don't.
Okay.
This is done.
My favorite moment for CSW was participating on the panel at the Leave No One Behind event that UN Women organized. I think it was important for me as a queer person, as a trans person, because the space I find is not always very inclusive to diversity. And definitions of womanhood that includes gender non-conforming persons and trans women. So I think any opportunity to have a platform to talk about those issues and to let these spaces know that we exist, I think I value being able to make that representation of diversity, especially for Black queer people. Yeah.
So I guess my favorite part was one of the side events, which was the LGBTI people reclaiming family, the one where Imanya spoke when the question started, and that other woman got up and she just broke down and started crying, because she was actually there with a delegation, she said, of like 15 people, and they came to disrupt. But she heard the stories of Imanya, and she saw her as a mother, and she was like, she had never seen that, and these are the things that bring us together, and these are the issues that she has, bringing up kids, and we need to build more bridges like this. And even the people around her that she came with, they looked a little shocked, and they didn't know what to do. It was like she was the leader of the gang, and all of a sudden, like, we found ways to converse and talk to each other. So for me, it was great to see sort of in action a mind of like a right-wing person, because she also didn't want to be called the other, but somebody who had not believed in our cause before actually see the humanity of us. So that was really amazing.
That was a very memorable moment for me as well. Just this whole concept of so many of my friends who are also queer leave church. I left church also. I haven't been to church in more than 10 years now. I used to be very like proud of that actually. And then when I went to this event, it just made me think a lot as to how we internalize what people have said about whatever God you might believe in. So it just, there's something to take away from that event. It was incredible.
Yeah, I was to know she was crying. I was
crying. I couldn't. It was one of the best events of this whole CSW.
And I saw her like at other times, and she would wave. So I was like, okay, it was not like a one-time thing.
And she works in South Africa, so I got a call too. So I'm like, okay.
It's amazing.
Yeah, but overall memorable. Yeah, overall CSW was awesome. I'm really happy that we are able to do it together as well.
Yeah.
And,
So let's talk about the challenges, people. What was hard?
Maybe a little bit hard was just seeing sometimes the energy of people, how much you put into it, and how long the hours are, and like trying to hold space for people when they need your energy to support them. That was the challenges. So there's not much that you can do at times, like when, for example, series in the on the couch, and it's like thinking about the series at 11 o'clock or 12 o'clock or not leaving until like 2 a.m. and you're like, so like what can I do? Like that's hard, because I am I think we all are, we want to do more. So I think that was actually that was the hardest thing for me.
I think for me, it was navigating space, because there's just so many different spaces. There's so much happening that like you want to conserve your energy for the full 2 weeks, but you also want to do so much, and then every day there's a different energy because there's a different event happening, or sometimes there's more opposition around, or it was just a very difficult space to manage in terms of my energy, but like it was also something rewarding and something that I can take back and try to understand, like how do I navigate spaces, especially when you work with delegates or sit in meetings with people who are pretty high up, so I think that's something that I can learn from, especially.
Okay. So what I found most difficult was managing my energies. Like, I'm pretty good at managing my energy, but there were days where I just had to be like, you know what, this is great, but I just can't. And it was hard to do because people were like, oh, we have to do it. I'm like, I'm sorry, I really can't. And I saw like surprise in a couple of faces and stuff, but it was hard, but I'm happy I did it because it allowed me to be able to be present on the days that were important and to meet the people that I felt we could move forward with.
I have to add on that, because I wasn't feeling well for quite a little bit of CSW, and like not feeling well and also feeling guilty about not feeling well was hard. So like managing your energy and knowing that, hey, you tell people about self-care, but I don't think as activists we practice it for ourselves. It's in theory it sounds awesome to tell other people, oh, please take care of yourself, but when it's you, you're like,
but I don't know.
So I think learning really, like, it's really been a process of learning to be better to yourself, and to sometimes it's okay to say no, like, and like you said, you might see surprise on people's faces, but I think if we know that within ourselves that we're doing the best that we can, that's really at the end of the day all that you can do.
So I just want to say that one of the things that really surprised me though was how little I worked on language, because these are things that excite me. And like on the first day I realized I don't have like the history, I don't know what's been done in past years, I have not read up. I'm just gonna step back. So I'm looking forward to the next one.
Adding to the language, to me it was just interesting to see how hectic the language is actually, and how like you also can't sleep when you work on the language group. It's a lot of work, and that is what people mostly fight about here.
Yeah. But shout outs to comms, man, every day.
Yeah.
And it was so good. Every day we just got an email. It's just copy, paste, put it on the thread, post it everywhere. That was really good. Not having to think about it.
Yeah.
If I had one word for this CSW, it would be yella. That's what I picked up
What's
from
that?
all the people. Let's go. Let's do it. Like, come on, let's go.
Energy.
Yes, like these people from the MENA region, they have energy and they're always like, yalla, it's always on the go. Let's go, let's do it. So that would be it. Let's go. Let's do it.
Okay, if I had one word to describe my CSW experience, it would be riveting. That's my word.
If I had one word, it would just be whirlwind. Yeah, of information.
You'll be fine.
Yeah, I tried.